Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or whenever you watch me right now. My name is Jay Luke, the owner and operator of the Passionates Network, and I'm also the host of Talk That Talk. Remember, you can get any of our merchandise right here on this channel. Click on whatever it is you want, and once you get down to your final purchase, you can get 30% off that final purchase. Just type in HBCU band. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the Passionates Network and turn on notifications. So before I jump out into this, I'm telling you now, I got this a long time ago. And I think it was back when I was really doing a lot of the videos and it kind of was during the summer when I was doing a lot of the videos and a lot of the, talking about the band seasons and so on and so forth. And I had someone talk and say, do Fayetteville State. Well, when we started this year, I also had someone else say, do Fayetteville State. And I told them I would get to it. And so here it is. I'm getting to it, doing it in a little bit of a different fashion than the way that I used to do it, mainly because it takes a lot to set up the camera and do all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do it right here. Man, I will tell you this. If you have not watched the Marching Bronco Express, and before I even get into it, I will definitely say, even with the fact that they have a media team, which I think is great. I think at this point, everybody's starting to develop their own media teams and so on and so forth. But even with the fact that they have their own media team, it's still not a lot of content out there for MBX. But what I will say is it's dope to be able to see the beginning of their stages and where they started and where they ended. I will definitely say this, and shout out right quick to Dr. Chalmers, Austin Chalmers. I think that's his name, the band director at Fayetteville State. I think he's doing a remarkable job from what I've been able to see and the videos that I've been able to watch from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. This specific video that I have pulled up right here is, if I'm not mistaken, and somebody in the comment section correct me if I'm wrong, this is one of the videos that they did for the Labor Day Classic Battle of the Bands, I think it was. And one of the things that I did like about it was, and one of the things that I really just like about the band in general, is that they don't overplay. I think that is a great thing. I don't think that they blow past any of the tessituras of the horn. I think that they stay in the dynamic range. I think that they have done the best job to stay inside of each other's sounds. They're not trying to blow the walls down, but what I can hear is that they're trying to create the best sounds possible. So as I went through and I listened to this, and we're going to listen to a couple of clips from this, and then we'll go to the final one that I heard, you can hear a stark difference in their sound. Now, what I can definitely say, and I'll say a couple of things about this, right? So the first thing that I definitely say is that they sound young, they sound green, it sounds like it's the beginning of the year, but I can also hear the potential that is within this band program. Like I said, there's not a lot of overplaying, there's not a lot of overdoing it, and I really appreciate that for this group. The other thing that I like is the arrangements that I can hear are, basically them. They are the pieces, from what I can hear, are arranged for their sound and for who they want to be. It's not something that is overdone, uncharacteristic sounds or uncharacteristic things that are written inside of their arrangements that are pulling them outside of who they are. Now, from a drilling perspective, I can see a couple of things that me personally, I would probably say some things about, but when you're starting out, there are just those things that you miss, right? So one of the things that I can easily point out is, from what I can see, there's a little rock in what they're doing as they take their step sizes, but I think sometimes we can over rock. And when we over rock, sometimes that tends to put a lot of feet in the sound, or it tends to be one of those particular situations where you can almost look like you're outside of the marching style almost. And I kind of see that taking place in some of those trumpet players. I probably need to go back a little bit more because that's kind of where I saw it.
Yeah,
it was a baby somewhere in here, but I can't pull up the exact clip of where it was. So, but that's one of the things that I definitely saw. But again, one of the things that was it raining that day? I mean, obviously there's water on the camera, but I don't know if it was continuous rain as they were playing because that also will contribute to some slight intonation problems, and that's kind of what I'm hearing when you start talking about those continuous sustained notes, some of those hits that you're hearing in the trumpet sections. If the mouthpiece is wet or is slippery, is coming off, you're not able to put the get the placement of where you want to be with that mouthpiece, and so some of those hits do sound a little scratchy. I would definitely say that, but what I can definitely hear is a lot of work in what you all are doing. Let's get to the dancers tune, and if I'm not mistaken, this is a Chris Brown show, by the way. Yeah, and what I can hear, definitely attention to the detail and what's happening in the music. There are some counter melodies, I think, from what I can hear inside of the euphonium section that I would have brought out just a little bit more. But outside of that, I think that once you guys stood still, you guys were able to settle into your sound. I think the intonation cleared up just a little bit, not a whole bunch, but just a little bit to be able for you all to be able to establish your sound. Your trumpets are able to listen back, tubas are able to listen front, so on and so forth. And I think that there was a more cohesive sound as you all were playing. So good job with that. So now I want to take this and I want to move it forward to what I saw, the tribute show, which happened during their homecoming, which I thought was super dope. But what is very evident is growth throughout the year. And that's what I enjoyed hearing. So we're going to listen to this real quick. Easily off top, completely different sound, right? Confidence in your music. You've had crabs or rookies, I don't know what you guys call them, crabs or rookies who have been there throughout the year. And so now there's an established sound. There's confidence in what you're doing. They know the process. They know what your expectation is as a band director, as a staff, as a team. And so now what you are hearing is a more cohesive sound, a thicker sound, and a more confident sound. And I think a little bit of the lack of rain too. So this is what I'm talking about right here. For me, to me, this just sticks out like a sore thumb, just the marching style, because of the fact that it's so much rocking and it's almost like a groove to it, you know, and I don't think it's bad. I think it just kind of sticks out for me. So that's just me. That's just a personal thing that just, if I'm looking on, even if I was there, I would have seen it live and direct. But it's all good because, again, I really appreciate the sound that you guys are putting out. Again, not overplaying, staying within the core sound of who you are, not stretching the horn out, and good arrangements for you guys. Now I will tell you, you know, it's homecoming. Obviously, that definitely happens. Not necessarily a fan of these kind of things. I did them when I was an undergrad. I did it when I was in high school. Not necessarily a fan, but you got to do what you got to do for the crowd. I get it. Now, I like this arrangement. I like the sound. One of the things that I would definitely say is da-da-da. I would actually make sure that we go all the way to the end of the phrase and release at the same time. For me, it seems like you kind of tapered off towards the end and just kind of disappeared versus a direct and strong cutoff and release. But again, great sound, quality sound, not arguing with it, not upset. And drum majors, y'all getting it right now. I'm saying, how can you argue with that, right? I think these moments, and I'm gonna be very honest, I think these moments are great because when you guys request for me to be able to listen to some of the smaller groups that don't get a lot of love, you end up finding great gems. And again, you can hear that there was teaching going on from the beginning to the end. Let's listen to the dancers tune very quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, oh dang, I went past it. Get to the last note. I definitely can hear the confidence in the sound. Now there was one chord where the trombones came in. I felt like they could have been a little bit stronger, and they kind of disappeared inside of the texture. That may have been what you wanted as a director. I'm not going to say that that's it was a bad thing, but for me, I would have actually wanted just a little bit more girth behind that sound and actually taken it to the end of the phrase. But again, that's the beauty of what our ear hears, because when we talk about sound and what we hear, all of it is subjective, right? So I may hear something different than what the director hears or what anybody hears. But what I can tell you, definitely a solid sound, definitely a lot of growth in the group. But I actually want to highlight this young lady right here really quickly. This girl sung her booty off. And I am not a fan of solos during halftimes. I'm just not. I think the last time that I remember having a good solo is the last time that I performed Honda 2006, 2007, Norfolk State University, Janique Evans blew the walls down. And that was the last time that I remember ever liking a solo during a show. Just never been a fan. Just not my thing. And I just think that bands need to be able to speak for themselves. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. But this girl right here. A little bit flat, but it was one of these areas where but I forgot to mention their dancers are all-purpose girls too. So there's more than one group of all-purpose girls. Shout out to them. So first of all, or last thing I'll say about this singer, because I'm not going to go all the way to the end. She actually killed it in my personal opinion. But here's two things. One, very good accompaniment from the band. Whoever arranged this piece with this young lady in mind, you did a very good job accompanying her and not taking over what she was doing, but actually accompanying and supporting what she was doing to help build what she was presenting. The second thing is, listen, when it comes to marching band is like Apollo. You cannot go wrong if you do gospel. You just can't go wrong if you do gospel. I mean, it just kind of is what it is. When you're with a marching band, you cannot go wrong if you do gospel. It doesn't matter if the singer's great. It doesn't matter if the singer's subpar. When you do gospel, you can't get booed. I'm just saying, it was an Apollo thing. I know y'all young folks may not know what Showtime at the Apollo is back in the day with Ray Chew and the crew, but I'm just saying, You can't go wrong if you do gospel. But I will go ahead and finish up by saying this, man. I'm telling you, if you have not taken a look at Fayetteville State, the MBX, man, I'm telling you, the Marching Bronco Express, I think I said that right. If I did not, please don't tear me up in the comments. All right. But again, I'm telling you, man, if you have not checked them out, I think they're on their way. They are a growing program. I really think that they're doing great. And to be able to see the growth from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, I think is super dope. I love to be able to see stuff like that, and I think you guys are doing a great job. But you guys tell me what you all think inside of the comment section. Have you watched Fayetteville State this year? Have you seen anything from them? Or was this your first time even getting experience from it? And if so, what do you think about them? You guys tell me down in the comment section. I want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. And guess what, man? I read every single one of your comments, man. Some of them make me laugh. Some of them make me smile. And I may comment on a few of them, man, but all of that. So I appreciate you guys. Again, don't forget to go ahead and click that like button, man, and go ahead and support the channel the best way you can. Go ahead and check out anything from our store. Remember, you can get 30% off your purchase. Just type in HBCU Band. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.